Sky News and Amy Nickell-Turner has been looking at the reputation of Suella Braverman down and Priti Patel up. She suggests that Suella Braverman doesn't have much of a chance in the stakes as potential leader of the Conservative Party, unless, of course, she is the only one to retain her seat at the next general election, which may well be the case. It's a toss-up between Braverman, Kemi Badenoch, and here it is, the revival of Priti Patel. Priti Patel, the person who was the architect of the Nationality and Borders Act. Priti Patel, who was accused of bullying. Priti Patel, who has that aura of the past that can conjure up the magnificence of even Boris Johnson as an image of nostalgia. And Priti Patel could well be the new face of the far right in the Conservative Party, or indeed she could be the face of the new party that morphs out of the Conservative Party into something like a Richard Tice manifestation. Isabel Oakeshott, get your togs ready for the inauguration of the neo-conservatives reform, or whatever you want to call them. It doesn't really make too much difference. This will be a one concept party, and that will be to eradicate anything that gets in the way of Brexit. And by the time the Labour Party has gone through one or maybe two election victories, whatever Priti Patel is leading will hardly be worth the weight of the paper on which it's written. I'm afraid if the Conservative Party really want to seal their fate and ensure their non-resurrection, then Priti Patel is absolutely the leader for that party. But I think there's going to be the most extraordinary sea change, and the Conservatives may limp back in some form after the next election, but it is the groaning of the final death rattle. And unless David Cameron's influence can do something to bring the party back to the centre. But I think while Rishi Sunak has sent people off to Rwanda, sent civil servants off to Rwanda, rather than engaging with the 1951 Refugee Convention, he is squandering whatever goodwill may actually have been directed in his towards him by the centre of the party and by people from outside the party. He's not going to win votes, except maybe retain Lee Anderson, but there's plenty of other places the Lee Andersons and the Red Wall people can go to. They can go to Richard Tice. He welcomed them with open arms. And I think there's a point where a political party recognises it's doomed and at least clings to what it stands for. The Conservative Party should stand for nationality and law. And what Rishi Sunak has signalled in the last week is illegality and a partisan understanding of nationality. I should point out that a We Think poll has suggested that 17% think that getting rid of Suella Braverman was a big mistake, while 48% think it was a positive move. However, the image that Amy Nickell-Turner uses to describe the revival of Priti Patel is that she is the pair of socks that has risen to the top of the laundry basket, the least offensive smell that can be dusted off and reworn. I would suggest that a pair of socks is not the right image. I would suggest really slightly soiled underwear that could be turned inside out and worn again for another day. It's not going to get you very far, but it might get you out of the front door.